Hey, what's up guys? Today we are making a big pot of roasted red pepper soup. This is pure roasted red pepper flavor. And you know, as chili heads, we don't really get a lot of roasted red pepper soups out there that I see in restaurants. I mean, you'll find creamy soups of just about every vegetable known to man. But where's the chili love, man? I mean, we need some delicious roasted red pepper soup, right? So I'm gonna show you how to make it at home the way that I love it. And I'm also gonna show you how you can spice it up so that you can make it your way. So hey, let's get cooking. All right, to make roasted red pepper soup, we need to roast some red peppers. You can use jarred red peppers for this, but the flavor is so much better when you roast it yourself. So today I'm using red bell peppers, and just so you know, you can use any red pepper for this recipe. I've made this with hatch chilies, amazing flavor, red poblano peppers, but red bell peppers are outstanding. Again, you can use it with pretty much anything, and we're gonna be adding some hotter peppers later for that heat factor, but the massive flavor is in the roasted red pepper themselves. So the first thing you need to do is just slice them in half lengthwise. And we're gonna remove the seeds and the innards here and the core. Just kind of pull that out. You can use your knife if you need to. And just set it onto a lined baking tray. You can oil it if you need to. So just pull this down here. Whoop. There we go. Knock out the seeds. Not a biggie. Set it on there. And just go ahead and do all of these and get them ready for roasting. Look, we got a screaming pepper. Ah! All right, got the last pepper here. All right, got everything set onto a baking sheet here. Now there are multiple ways that you can roast peppers, and I actually have a post on roasted red peppers that I'll cue up top so you can take a look at that. You could do it on the grill. You can do it over an open flame, which is how I usually do it when I'm doing 1 or 2 peppers. But since we're doing a lot, I'm gonna do this in the oven, and you can either bake or broil. It really just a timing thing, but I'm gonna do on a low broil today. So I have my oven set to a low broil, and I'm gonna pop this into the oven for about 15 minutes until the skins char and blacken. So just keep an eye on it and make sure they don't burn. So I would check it after about 10 minutes or so just to see how they look. But go ahead and pop these into the oven, do a broil, and then we will peel them up. All right, look at that, nicely roasted red peppers. You can see that the skins have all charred up and blackened, and they're starting to loosen. But the next step that we want to do here, once they're roasted, is transfer them to a heat-proof bowl. Just get them pulled up, set into the bowl. All right, let me set this aside here. And we're gonna go ahead and cover the peppers here. What this is gonna do is it's gonna let the peppers steam. The heat from the peppers will steam and it'll loosen up the skins even more and they'll peel right off. So all right, just let them steam for about a couple minutes until they cool enough and the skins loosen up. All right, roasted red peppers here. Yep, you can see how they've really steamed up and the skins have loosened up. They're already starting to peel off themselves. Now they just peel right off very easily. And just get rid of the skins, you don't need those. Just like so, very easy, isn't it? So go ahead and peel all your peppers and then we'll get chopping. All right, last pepper is peeled. So the next step here is go ahead and give them a rough chop. I'm just gonna slice them into strips. I give them a rough chop. And we're gonna pop it into a bowl and then we will get making some roasted red pepper soup. All right, once your peppers are roasted, go ahead and get your soup making station all set up. With this particular recipe, I like to start with a roux, and there are different ways to make it, but this is my favorite way. So here I have a 1/4 cup of peanut oil, and you can use other neutral oils, work just fine here, or even butter. And I also have a 1/4 cup of flour, it's just all-purpose flour. So equal parts fat and flour to make a roux. Go ahead and into your pot to medium heat. And what's gonna happen is it's gonna form like a slurry, kind of almost like a paste. And that's really what your roux is. We're gonna cook it down for about 10 minutes or so, stirring constantly until it turns more of a like a peanut buttery color or coppery color. You can do a lighter roux if you want, more of a blonde roux for a thicker soup. Or if you're like, more Louisiana style, you can cook it to a deep, dark chocolate brown. But for me, for this recipe, I love more of a coppery color, and it only takes about 10 minutes or so. But just keep an eye on it and constantly stir, because if you stop stirring, you could burn your roux. And I actually have a post on how to make a roux, and I'll cue that up top there, link for you, to kind of give you more details on ways you can play around with making a roux. So one thing while I'm making this roux, this is actually a great recipe for gardeners, people who grow lots of peppers like myself. If you're like me and you find yourself at the end of the season with loads of peppers, you can of course preserve the peppers themselves, but you can roast the peppers and preserve them, or just go ahead and make soup. And you can freeze the soup. It's one of our favorite ways to use up a lot of peppers. And the frozen soup can be reheated, and it's a perfect, quick and easy lunch. Me and Patty go on our walks, come home. Hey, let's just heat up a soup and good to go. It's delicious. All right, I've got my roux pretty much where I want it to be, and it's been about 10 minutes. Nice, sort of a light peanut butter color. So the next step here is to add 1 medium chopped onion into the pan. And here's where your heat factor comes in. Here I have a couple of red Fresno peppers that I'm adding. You can add in other hot peppers really to your preference, or you can skip this altogether and just focus on the flavor of the red bell peppers. Fresno peppers aren't overly hot. They're about as hot as jalapeno peppers, but they're really great for flavor, and Patty really loves that level of heat. If you want, you can use hotter peppers, like go with serranos. If you want to get crazy, go ahead and throw some scorpions in there and be like, blast it with heat, yeah. Just really depends on who you're cooking for. So, if you're cooking for grandma, unless there's lots of spicy grandmas out there, there just may be. You might want to keep the heat down a little bit, but if you're cooking for crazy Uncle Mike or something, just go for it. Just go for it. All right, so cooking this down for about 4 to 5 minutes or so. Let it soften up, and then we will continue. All right, next, go ahead and add in your reserved chopped roasted red peppers, along with garlic. I have 4 good-sized garlic cloves here that I minced up, along with a tablespoon of smoked paprika, and a teaspoon of freshly toasted ground cumin, and salt and pepper to taste. Really to your personal tastes. And regarding the seasonings, this is really just my preferred seasonings for this recipe, but you can feel free to use your own favorite blends. If you want to, not use cumin, that's okay. Some people don't like cumin. I love it for this recipe, but it's very customizable to your preference. So go ahead and stir it, and we're going to cook for about a minute until you can smell the gorgeous garlic blooming. One of my favorite smells ever. Sort of mixing with that smoked paprika. A very delicious smell in the kitchen, my friends. All right, yes, getting cakey. Now I have 2 cups of chicken stock. Vegetable stock works great as well. It's really your preference. Okay, into the pot. And give it a stir, give it a nice stir. And we're gonna go ahead and let this simmer for a good 20 minutes or so. You can let it simmer longer if you want to, and let all those flavors meld and combine and just get outstandingly delicious. So, all right, we will be back when this is ready to continue. It smells amazing in here, you guys. Seriously, this is so good. So this has been simmering for quite a while, and it's thickened up a lot. At this point, you could, if you wanted to, process it, and it would be a nice, very thick soup, or it would make a fantastic sauce. So if you ever want to make a roasted red pepper sauce, this is one way that you can do it. Outstanding. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of water. I'm going to add a half a cup of water to thin it out just a little bit. Or you could add stock as well. And just go ahead and stir that together. And we can simmer it for a little bit longer if we want to. But I'm going to go ahead and process this. You can transfer this to a food processor or a blender, or a stick blender works great. I've been using this for a long time, just works awesome. Just go ahead and do it right in the pot here. Woo, splashy, splashy. All right, look at that, my friends. This is so creamy. Oh, just take a look at that, man. You'll get a nice creamy soup when you use the roux method. It's one of my favorite ways to make soups. It's a lot like starting a gumbo. It just comes out so amazing when you process it, delicious. But if you're looking for even more creamy factor to it, you can easily stir in a bit of heavy cream or even like a whole milk. Or even better, some cream cheese. Just melt some cream cheese through, stir it until it's melted through, and just heat it up, and you'll get extra cheesy, creamy flavor. It's really delicious that way. But this is really my favorite way to do it. It's just outstanding. So, all right, let's give it a taste. Seriously, that is so delicious. This is my favorite roasted red pepper soup. I love making it this way. Pure, delicious roasted red pepper flavor. Hey, I'd love to hear what you guys think of this recipe in the comments below, so please leave some comments. But mostly I'd love to hear what kind of red peppers you're gonna use to make your roasted red pepper soup. So many options and so many ways to spice it up as well. So, hey, if you guys are looking for more roasted red pepper awesomeness, you gotta try my muamara recipe. It's a roasted red pepper walnut dip, and I'll cue that one up. But if you're looking for more of a soup, I have a fantastic stuffed pepper soup recipe that I think you will love. It's one of our favorites. So, all right, looking forward to seeing you in the kitchen next time, guys. Mike from Chili Pepper Madness. Bye.